Hi everyone, Dr. Victoria Skirbo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. And so I've been pondering our situation here in America with Donald Trump as president. And, I have my theories about why he's here. He is here to sort of wake us up to something. He's here to test not just us as humans, but test the country as an entity, and wake up people to the fact that those things that we take for granted, we can't really take for granted. I feel as though when you live in a place and you have the freedoms that you have, from the perspective that you have them, like not everybody has the same freedom in this country. It's obvious. Race plays a big part in that, as does poverty. And that's an old story. That's an old paradigm story. It's not new to America, but it's certainly alive and well in America. And we do have a president who it tends to go on that side of fear and loathing and separation and that whole fascist sort of vibe. And so, when there are astrological aspects happening, and yet there's an expansion of consciousness that we didn't have before. I have an ability to talk to you. I'm just a person living, in a blue state, and you get to hear me. You would normally not get to hear what I have to say. So I do take what I say seriously. I want to put out the best and most balanced stuff I can to help people, instead of to sort of stir the pot. The pot doesn't really need to be stirred in that way. What we need a higher perspective, and that's what I think I want to do with this reading. So this is just simply a reading as to what we are here to learn from the Donald, as it were, at this time in our evolution. And I've done these readings before, but I think it's a good idea to just sort of see these come up again and review, because as we interact with the energy and as he develops as a I guess a world leader, things do change. So let's see what's going on. So this is the immediate environment. Okay, we have the Eight of Cups. I basically see this energy as an energy where, first of all, it's about turning your back on something that you've put a lot of energy into. And so if there's anything in your life that you've put a lot of energy into but doesn't seem to be giving you the dividends that you need, and these dividends that I talk about are not necessarily financial dividends, because we're dealing with cups here. This deals with emotional contentment, emotional fulfillment. This person has done a lot of work, and yet he turns his back upon it and looks out into the horizon looking for a higher purpose. So to a certain extent, it's about us finding our higher purpose. Not what we've done and been doing for years and years and years and figure, well, we put all this much energy into it, we better continue. No, it's about looking to see what's going to feed your soul. Okay, let's see what crosses that. Okay, we have the Empress here. And I see the Empress as a crossing card that has to do with our inability, in a way, to take the feminine side of life. And the feminine side of life is more about imagination, emotional fulfillment, relationship, and really giving it the value that it deserves. This particular card deals with creative visualization, and creative visualization is a product of our imagination. And so if we don't value our own imagination and value what our own imagination can create in our lives, then we're not working on all cylinders. If you want to just look at life from a logical perspective, this is, you're only looking at half the life. You have to look at the other half of the life, and the other half of the life has to do with our ability to co-create, to imagine, to dream, and it's okay to dream. Okay, it's okay to dream. Let's see what's at the root of all of this. Okay, we have the Devil card, and the Devil card is about our it's about feeling chained to three-dimensional reality, and our inability or our ability or our inability really to reach up beyond three-dimensional reality. This is simply part of the story, what we're experiencing here on planet Earth, right? There are higher levels of consciousness, and this has to do with our need to free ourselves from the chains of materialism. He's also here to show us what being chained to materialism can wrought. And that's exactly what's being wrought right now. Money is the bottom line here. And money is simply energy. And we agree upon what money means. And I'm also talking about resources. And the idea of, even to the idea of possession, like who really owns the earth? You can pay on land, but is it really yours, right? Who owns the earth? No one really. This is just a construct, and so these are all kinds of things that are at the root of it, right? But I feel that being chained to materialism, being chained to just that physical reality, that's part of it. Let's see what's in the past. Okay, we have the Nine of Wands in the past. This is fighting. This is the soldier that has a little more fight in him. Okay, let's see what's in the sky. Okay, we have the Three of Cups, which is the celebration card. And so this is about joy and fellowship and friendship. This card is about friendship. And so perhaps he is here to show us that we need each other. We need each other. And we need each other to have fun. We need each other to have joy. We need each other to celebrate life instead of spend all this time, creating death, so to speak. Okay, this is the immediate environment. So, immediate environment. The immediate future, we get the oh my goodness, the Wheel of Fortune. It's right here. It's right in front of me, and I can't say it. Oh yeah. The Wheel of Fortune, which is about a change in fortune, a change in energy. This is understanding the cyclic nature of things. There are times when we're on top of the world, and there are times we're at the bottom of the barrel, and that will always change. And so there's a cyclicity to things. And so what seems interminable at this time is not. There's going to be another turn of the wheel for this. Okay, let's see how it's seen from the outside. We get the Queen of Cups. This is a card associated with the sign of Cancer. And so I see this as America in this respect, and her natural tendency to nurture those. And it's funny because America really, as a country, has been traditionally one that, and this is partly because we have the resources to do it, but if something happened, the Americans would always send money. And yet when we really look at how America treats their women and children, it's abhorrent. It's abhorrent. So it's about really looking at that for us. How are we treating our women? How are we treating our children? And the need to do that. Let's see our domestic situation. Okay, and so our domestic situation is about waiting for our ships to come in. This is generally a card of commerce. But what I feel like this is in part, this is our karma coming back at us. Okay, so there's some of that. which is not necessarily a positive thing. But I also see this as looking out to see where we can make connections, moving out of isolationism. And maybe even moving out of what is that exceptionalism that we we're the greatest, we're the best, we're the greatest. Well, we're not. We did a great thing in World War II, and the military industrial complex has been utilizing that victory to bring a lot of pain to a lot of people for many years. So we really have to look at who we are and what we've done. And the chicken's coming home to roost. Part of this is what we've created ourselves. So on some level, Trump is the monster, and we're Dr. Frankenstein. Okay, hopes and fears. Okay, we have the Prince of Swords. We're hoping for a quick end and an action for this. Yeah, we would like this to end. We're not the most patient of folk. Are we? No. Outcome? Okay, we have the King of Swords. A lot of times this is Mueller, but I asked about, what are we here to learn from Trump? I feel like the King of Swords deals with our decisions and the decisions that we make. And then the decisions that we make are important. We need to take them seriously. We need to think about them. The King of Swords is an energy where the person spends an awful lot of time thinking about the actions before they take them. And I feel as though part of this issue here is that, we just wanted change, and we were going to, we were going to grab onto change in whatever way we could. Now, of course, that wasn't the whole story. There's a lot of nuance to this. There's a lot of layers. It was a perfect storm, right? And now we have Hurricane Donald. Let's see if we can pick a major arcana. We get the Ten of Swords, not a major arcana. The Princess of Wands, not a major arcana. And the Seven of Pentacles, not a major arcana. So let's see what's underneath. Okay, we have the Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Cups is really about, it's many things, but as it strikes me, the Seven of Cups deals with the seven deadly sins. And so this is really the illusion. This has to do with an illusion and the illusionary nature of life. And again, it sort of harkens back to this card at the root of it. At the root of it is that we're not simply here. We're not just here to make money and have resources and be the richest country in the world and have this be the place where people can come and make their fortune. It's not about that. America has a spiritual purpose. It has a spiritual purpose, and we're going to have to start working from that place, from that level. Okay? So that's what that says. Hi, buddy. My little squirrel just woke up. Let's see if he comes up. What are you doing? Don't pee on my cards. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. There we go. I don't want to pee on my tarot card. He did. He peed on my tarot cards. This little guy. All right, I got to move these cards. He's peeing on them. So that's what it says. That's what it says. Well, that was an interesting reading. I like that. Okay, so let's learn from this, right, folks? Let's learn from this. Let's figure out how we can take the lessons that we're learning through this whole experience with Trump and become more aware of the spiritual side of life. Start living your life in a way that makes a difference. And it doesn't have to be a huge difference. Not everybody is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Not everybody is going to be running for Congress. Not everybody is going to be running for president. But do what you can in the areas that you can, knowing that we have a spiritual purpose. We have a purpose beyond just being the richest country in the world. The richness that we need to express needs to be one that has a spiritual foundation to it, and not just a physical, we're the richest, we're the best, we have the biggest bombs kind of thing. So, so that's what the card said. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye.